10.
Hello everyone! Welcome back to Top 10, a show where I listen to an entire artist discography and I give you the Top 10. And today on Top 10, we're going to be talking about the discography of 4 individuals who shook up the music world since their inception in the mid-70s to their breakup in 1991. Today we're going to be talking about Jerry, Tina, Chris, and David. We are talking about the Talking Heads. Alright, now with that being said, everybody, it's now time to pull yourself up a chair and get comfortable, because it's now time for me to give you my recommendations of David Byrne's Music Funhouse, The Talking Heads. Let's get started. Alright everybody, it's now time to get started with number 10 on this list. And number 10 is The Big Country, from their 1978 album, More Songs About Buildings and Food. What's that? Oh, did you not think I had the 8-track? You're sadly mistaken. Yes, I bought an 8-track of this because I wanted to see exactly how it would compare to a CD version of the Talking Heads. And I was actually really blown away by how different the 8-track actually sounds compared to the CD. And I need you to listen to it for yourself because it's incredible. It's incredible. Love analog. Now, The Big Country is a great song, and if you've never listened to it before, big spoiler warning coming over here, because I'm going to spoil that amazing first listen. So I would go and listen to that song, like an actual version of the song, not my bad cover, actually listen to the song, and then come back. Unless you're too lazy to do it, because I'm just going to spoil the whole thing right now. So The Big Country is a song that is all about small town USA. The whole song is praising this small town and this way of life.
I guess the air is clean. I guess those people have fun with their neighbors and friends.
And then when that chorus hits, it changes everything about the song, and it really elevates it to give it this mystique, this wonderful punch to the gut that you just don't expect your first listen, and I loved it.
I wouldn't live there if you paid me. I wouldn't live like that. No, sirree!
I hate this place. I wouldn't live there if you paid me. Just completely opposite of what he was saying in the verses. Like, I hate these people, hate this way of life, and these people are peons underneath my feet. The whole song makes it seem like the people who are in the wrong, the people who need the most ridicule, is the royal people who live in these small little towns. But actually, the person you're supposed to be making fun of is the person singing the song, who's this elite man who's on this big old biplane flying over there judging these people. He has all this money and he's just wishing that he had like a life like that. He's almost jealous that they have this place to call their own while he is just flying above them in the clouds, exhausted from traveling so much for work. In 2015, there was an interview with David Byrne and Mark Maron, where David Byrne revealed The Big Country was written because of the perspective that the public had on him. The public put him on a pedestal like he's some kind of elite snob who would never like this way of life. When David Byrne thinks the opposite. He says he has nothing but respect for these small towns, and you can really see that in something we're going to be talking about a little bit later, how much David Byrne respects small town America. And if you just want just a simple reason why it's in my top 10, David Byrne says goo goo gaga all the time. The next song from Talking Heads comes from their 1979 album Fear of Music, and it is called Drugs.
Somebody said there's too much light. Pull down the shade and it's alright. It'll be over in a minute or two.
For anyone anyone who's not in the know, Talking Heads had a collaboration with producer Brian Eno for 3 of their mega hit albums, More Songs About Buildings and Food, Fear of Music, and Remain in Light. This song right here is just a perfect mashup of that Brian Eno sound and the Talking Head sound just coming together to make a beautiful music lasagna. It's fantastic. I don't know, when I listen to it, it's super exciting for me with how experimental the whole thing is. The whole song is just filled with industrial influence, it's very psychedelic, and all of it is going through a bad drug trip of someone sitting there, taking drugs, and just going through the motions. It's hectic, it's manic, and scary.
All charged up, don't put me down, don't feel like talking, don't mess around. I feel mean, I feel okay, I'm all charged up, electricity.
Okay, so next up is going to be number 8. Number 8 is City of Dreams from Talking Heads' album True Stories.
We live in a city of dreams. We drive on this highway of fire.
Now, I am going to go into some stuff that's pretty heavy. Apologies, but I do think some people might think City of Dreams, it's an odd choice to put on a Talking Heads top 10 list, but I feel like I have to go into some of my backstory a little bit to go with why I picked City of Dreams for this list. Okay, this year has been one of the most hectic years of my life. Large part of it is because my brother died this year. Talking Heads has a lot of songs about death and life, what it means to die. Listening to Talking Heads has helped me a lot during this process. And one of the songs that did was City of Dreams.
Give me away and find it gone. Remember this, our favorite sound.
During the same month as all of this went down, me and my other brother Chase, he came over and we watched True Stories, David Byrne's movie, and it was a really nice experience. It is a crazy little film, which makes sense because David Byrne is a crazy little guy. And that ending song, City of Dreams, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, that's a nice little song to end the whole thing. It's about loving your little town. But then when I sat down and I listened to the song and dived into the lyrics, City of Dreams made me burst out crying. I was a freaking baby, and I needed to hear this song because the way it interprets death and life, it's beautiful.
Underneath the concrete, the dream is still alive. 100 million lifetimes, a world that never dies.
Every single person is going to die. That is the way of life. Everything you see here will die. Everyone who has ever lived has died. And you can interpret that as a bad thing, but David Byrne instead paints it in a good way. We're dreams. We're ethereal. Those people who lived back then still lived back then. You should celebrate the life and not the death. Don't think about the end of all existence. Don't think of all that. We're living like a dream. When you close your eyes and you sleep and you have these adventures and these crazy visions in your sleep, they existed. And like all these people before us, they've existed. They're alive. They're breathing. Their souls are there, just reliving all these memories. And in a way, that's kind of beautiful. the town that you live in right here. Every single person who's in your town is going to be a ghost one day. But their spirit is going to live on, and it's going to continue their legacy because you are part of the wonderful tapestry that is history, human life on this earth. And that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Alright, this next song is what led the Talking Heads into the 1980s. It is the song Born Under Punches from their album Remain in Light. You know, I wish I could come up here and say I have more of a reason to put this song on this top 10 other than, oh my god, does it sound cool? But man, this is a cool freaking sounding song. Take a look at these hands! Take a look at these hands! The hand speaks! The hand of a government man! The song Born Under Punches is basically the singer is like this government official talking about how he's just like you. You can trust me. I don't want to manipulate anybody or try to get a whole bunch of power. I want the bare essentials in life. I just want to breathe. I just want to just live. I'm not trying to hurt you. The song's name, Born Under Punches, is said throughout the song, of course, but one of the things is with being born under punches, like, oh, I've struggled, I've had all this adversity, I've overcome my obstacles into becoming the shining hero before you, right on stage, telling you what to do. Even though these people, some of the people in power, could have had the cushiest lives in the world. Born under punches! I'm so thin. All I want is to breathe. I'm too thin. I don't know. I like it. I think it's really cool, really fun. I love the freaking synth solo on there. What more could you want? The next song comes from my personal favorite Talking Heads album, Speaking in Tongues, and that song is called Slippery People.
What's the matter with him? I see his face. Don't play no games. Look from the bottom to the top. Turn like a wheel. See for yourself. We're gonna move. Turn like a wheel inside a wheel.
What Slippery People is about, it's all about David Byrne's perspective on a specific phenomena that can happen throughout the Christian faith, which is when people stand up and start speaking in tongues. And a more extreme version of that, people rolling on the floor and barking like dogs and going insane, having like seizure-like episodes when they are praising the Lord.
And Lord, if it blows our little minds, let them be blown.
A big chunk of David Byrne's discography is all about the fear of manipulation. We just talked about Born Under Punches, but he also has the song Don't Worry About the Government, which is about the same kind of thing. I think there's a big fear that is all in David Byrne's thing. He wants to make sure that people are being genuine with him, and Slippery People is a song where he thinks the faith is trying to manipulate him. With this song, it has a wonderful gospel influence. There are two black singers, and both of those ladies are doing an excellent job trying to get this gospel feel to the song. And they even add some castanets in there too. It's just a really cool sound. It's almost like a gospel song being sung in a seedy bar. Which does add to the message David is trying to portray on the song. It's a great performance. Pop quiz! The answer will
be revealed later in the video.
Alright, next song is also
Yes.
from Speaking in Tongues. And this one is a big famous one. You might know it. It's called Burning Down the House.
Watch out!
You might get what you're after.
Cool babies!
Strange but not a stranger. I'm an ordinary guy.
Burning down the house!
I'm so glad that we have a song that's not so heavy right now, because I think I actually really needed a break. Now this right here, it's a great beat, it's awesome, it's the first Talking Head song I've ever heard, and it's still a mainstay for me, and anytime I go to like a karaoke night, I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to play it, I'm going to sing it, I'm going to have a good time dancing to it the entire time. It's a great song. Burning Down the House is not a song about hurting anybody, it's not a song about actually setting a house on fire. Instead, Burning Down the House is a metaphor. The whole song is a call to action. Liberate yourself from the normal routine, break out of it, and forge a new path. Go out of the norm. Do stuff that's going to make you uncomfortable. Get out of your comfort zone and do something crazy.
There has got to be a way.
Burning down the house!
But no matter what, it's funky. I love it. It's a fantastic song. I love the live version of this on Stop Making Sense. It has so much energy to it. Oh, it's just so good. It's just so awesome. The next song comes from Talking Heads' best-selling record they've ever made. And that was Little Creatures. And this song is called Road to Nowhere. Now, yes, this is another Talking Heads song, much like City of Dreams, that is all about death. And I wonder why it's on this list.
We're on the road to nowhere. Come on inside. Taking that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride.
Now, this song has the complete opposite mentality as like a song with Slippery People. This is almost like a gospel song in itself. It's a very hopeful song about death. Don't worry about death. Don't worry about it. It's gonna come. There's no reason to fear it. It's something that means that you're human. We're all gonna die, so there's no reason to worry about death. The thing that you should be worrying about is having a good time while we're still alive. Don't focus about it. And because we know there's going to be a finite end, that means that we should be focusing on every single second that we're here. And appreciating the time that you have with the people around you. You should really try to live to the fullest while we're still here. So don't focus about death, focus about life. Think about the people that you can reach out to today. And I think that is a great message. It's something I needed to hear this year.
I'm feeling okay this morning, and you know we're on the road to paradise. Here we go, here we go.
By the way, the song features an accordion, which instantly gives it points, in my opinion. Didn't mean to get on here and cry like a freaking baby, but here we are. Alright, let's continue. Let's move on to number 3. It's another song you have probably heard before. It's from Remain in Light. You know it. I know it. The song's called Once in a Lifetime.
And you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. And you may find yourself on another part of the world. And you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile.
Once in a Lifetime is a staple of the MTV generation, and it's a song known for 2 things. One is its amazing, iconic music video, and second, it was covered by Kermit the Frog. Once in a Lifetime is another thing that is right in David Byrne's wheelhouse. It's all about David Byrne having a perspective on what it means to be human. And another perspective of being human is all about the passage of time. You just existing. And like in a moment, you could just realize, wait a second, you could be shopping at Winn-Dixie or something. And you could just be thinking, like, how did I get here? Like, it's so crazy how a human can go into drastically different, like, paths in life. And sometimes it's just that moment of you looking up and saying, like, how did I freaking get here?
Let the days go by, let the water hold me down. Let the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. And the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground.
Sometimes you could feel cheated by time. Sometimes you can feel like, where did the whole year go? I was just in high school and now look at me, I'm almost 30. Or I was almost 30 and now look at me now, I'm in my 60s, and where did the time go? And David Byrne is just giving you the simple explanation. It's always been the same. Time marches on at the exact same pace. It's not time's fault that you're aging. It's you being a human. That's the whole reason. It's just a natural phenomenon that you have to accept. And that's what Once in a Lifetime is all about. It's kind of weird how Once in a Lifetime has bursted out into the mainstream. Because it's a wacky song. It's a quirky, weird song about time. I wouldn't think that would be a thing that would really top the charts, but it's a legendary song in pop culture now, which I think is really cool. I like it when there's good songs in pop culture. I think that's a win for everybody. This next song is more of an underappreciated gem, I would say, and it comes from Talking Heads' least popular album, Naked, and the song is Nothing But Flowers. Look at this chimp.
Here we stand, like another melody, water flows, the garden of Eden.
Throughout the album Naked, Talking Heads has a whole salsa, samba-esque sound to it. Their reliance on that kind of sound does bog down the album, and there's only a couple songs I kind of like off this one because of that kind of influence. It's just not something I think is their strong suit. When it comes to a couple songs like Mr. Jones, and especially this one, it gives you such a unique sound that I've never heard from anyone else.
Where have they gone? No, it's nothing but flowers.
And the message, the story behind the song is something I find very interesting. The song sounds like something you would hear straight out of a Jimmy Buffett album, but the song is actually a post-apocalyptic song. This song is about 2 people, the modern day Adam and Eve, who is walking along the apocalypse, who have lived for years, and they've seen the earth reclaim all the land. And now, instead of having all of these cities, you have forests, mountains, rivers, a tropical oasis like a Garden of Eden. And my favorite part of this song is that the main antagonist hates it. He is so mad, and he just wishes that everything was back to normal. He wants his shopping malls, he wants his Dairy Queens, he wants his 7-Elevens. He said, if this is paradise, I wish I had a lawnmower so I could mow everything down.
This used to be real estate, now it's only fields and trees. Where is the town now? It's nothing but flowers.
I know so many people in my life who as soon, and I'm one of them, as soon as an apocalypse happened, they are done. They're going to be mad, they're going to be miserable for the rest of their lives because now they're living with no electricity. And Talking Heads is painting all this as, isn't it funny how humans who were born of the earth, who evolved to survive in the wilderness, we're wild animals, and we have gotten to a point where we can't survive in the own world we were made for. It's so interesting, it's so poetic, and it's all done in this groovy, tropical sound, and it's great. And I think my favorite part of this is the last line, where the man screams out, "I can't get used to this lifestyle," which is hilarious to me. It's hilarious. Some people think it might be way too high on this list, but you really underestimate how much I play this song on the regular. Okay, next up is my number one Talking Heads song. But before we do that, here comes some honorable mentions. Okay, so now that all that's out of the way, it's now time for my number one pick. This one also comes from Speaking in Tongues, and it is called This Must Be the Place. I'm a big freaking softie, okay? And I like love songs once in a while, and this one is my favorite love song I have ever heard. One of the things that makes the song really great is just David Byrne himself. David Byrne is an awkward individual, and he's made songs like No Compassion, Cross-Eyed and Painless, Houses in Motion. Songs that like really are more in his wheelhouse. He's an awkward guy who sees the world in an awkward way. And that same mentality carries over when he's just trying to make a genuine love song. And his unique perspective on the world changes everything about a regular love song. When you're standing here beside me, I like the passage of time. You got light in your eyes. Sing into my mouth. These are just things that just don't belong in a normal mainstream love song. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful perspectives, and I love it. But another thing that makes this song a lot better for me is when I first listened to this whole album, the very first time, was the first time I started dating my current partner. And I was in a bad time, bad place, and then when we first started dating, it was the first time I ever heard this song. And it's our song. And when I listen to it, I feel really good. Sometimes that's all I need to be able to explain why it's my favorite song to you. And when it comes on my rotation, I listen to it, I sing the whole time, and I just feel good. And maybe that's all I really need to be able to recommend it to you.
Home is where I want to be. Pick me up and turn me around. After mom, born with a weak heart, I guess I must be having fun. The less we say about it, the better. We'll make it up as we go along. Feet on the ground, head in the sky. It's okay, I know nothing's wrong, nothing.
Okay, this is the end of the video here, everybody. I'm sorry if it's been kind of crazy and all over the place today. Wasn't expecting it to be, but here we are. My advice, listen to Talking Heads discography. It's a very small discography. I mean, 8 albums is a good amount of work, but it's a very easy to get through discography if you really want to plow through it. And there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, People Like Us, great song. Houses in Motion, awesome song. Great songs. There's great songs all over the place. Again, more hits than misses in this discography. But also, with my advice, make sure you tell people around you how much you care about them. Plan to hang out with people more, because you never know when you don't have the opportunity again. If there's anything that you've been holding back on doing, go ahead and try doing the first step, because we only have so much time on here. We're all going to that road to nowhere, so you only have so much time to get those things done, so you might as well do them. Thank you to all my patrons. I have a podcast called Give You an Hour that you can check out. Link in the description below. Thank you to all my new followers, and thank you so much. We're now at 10,000. 10,000 people are here. That's insane. Hope I didn't scare you all away. Yeah, that's it. Bye. Bye.
Up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous and I can't relax. I can't sleep cause my bed's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. You start a conversation, you can't even finish it. You're talking a lot, but you're not saying anything.
Alright everyone, the video is now over, and that means it is now time to spin the Wheel of Whame. If you would like to suggest something for the Wheel of Whame, I'm only taking suggestions from patrons at this time. So when something gets off the wheel, it will be immediately replaced by the next patron submission right now. Spinning it in 3, 2, 1. Oh my god. Oh. We're going to be talking about Lulu, a combination of Metallica and Lou Reed. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's finally gonna happen. Oh wow. Oh Jesus. Oh. Okay. And it was this close from doing Crazy Frog.
Just got this little bowl so I can put ranch in it for my carrots.